What's up, guys? Anime Sauce. Alright, we got a good one today. Today I'm going to do the top 10, in my opinion, romance animes. Now, before I get into this, let's specify some things, because a ton of different people have a ton of different ideas of what a romance is. Now, when I watch a romance, if I'm going in to the deep depths of romance, not just like, you know, a subcategory. If I'm going in for romance specifically, that's what it needs to be about, focusing on that aspect. And sure, it can have some side aspects, but this is what it needs to be about. Then for me, it needs to have at least one of the three things that I require for romance. Now, obviously, if it doesn't have any of those, chances are I'm not going to like it. The first thing is the confession. Obviously, there needs to be a confession in there from somebody telling the other person, obviously, they like him, you know? No big deal. That's the first one. Obviously, the second one would be, do they go out? Now, obviously, you probably aren't going to have the second one without the first one, so the first one's pretty much like the opener for all three things. But you can have the third one, which is a kiss, without the second one, because that happens all the time. Now, to get in deep with it, I don't require all three. Would I prefer it? Absolutely. Now, on this list, I will tell you if any of the three are in it. I'm not going to tell you which of the three, but obviously, if I say there's two of the three, it could be one, it could be three, it could be two. But, so, I'm not going to tell, because, unless you wanted me to spoil it for you, but I don't really want to. But just this list alone is ones that really focus on just romance as the main plot. Even though a true romance, if you think about it, true romance animes don't have a story. They really just flow and are about their everyday lives and them trying to get in a relationship with this person. You know, they don't really have a focused story like Sword Art Online, where it was a main story and had a subplot of romance. That's great, but that's not a true romance anime. True romance animes are like Clannad and Toradora, you know? But if you think about it, they don't have a point. There's no point to that anime. They just are. You understand? It's like it's about their lives and them growing as people, growing as a relationship. That's what true romance anime is about. Now, this top 10 list is going to include my choices. So if you don't agree with the choices, that's absolutely fine. But obviously, everyone on this list is a recommendation, and then I will give you some extras at the end that didn't make my top 10, but they're definitely good. You understand? Just because it's not on the top 10 doesn't mean it's not worth the watch. Everything that I'm about to list off is worth the watch, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not going to do a review of each one unless you ask for specific ones, but this is just a breakdown of you know, what it is, because obviously there's no story for any of these as far as I can tell. They're just there building relationship, building characters up, just trying to, you know, live every day with romance involved. So, starting off at number 10, we got Special A. Now, Special A is awesome. I loved it. It has, which one? 1, 2, 3. I think it has 3 out of 3 if I remember correctly. Pretty sure it does. 3 of 3 of my requirements in the anime, so it was definitely a win. It is number 10. It is about, you know, people going to school. This chick's super smart. This dude's super smart. They're competing. Like, she's trying to be better than him because he's just a little bit better. So, he's a little bit better. She's always trying to beat him, and he has feelings for him. And the funny thing is, it's super obvious that he does, and she's the dense one when it comes to the romance. But yes, 3 of 3 are in there. So, it's kind of a spoiler, but whatever. Who cares? It's worth it. So that's number 10. Definitely go Special A. Number 9, you got Suzuka. Now, I didn't watch this one till actually pretty recently. So that's my number 9. It definitely made it to the list just because of the romance aspects of it. It's really hardcore. It does have 3 of the 3 in it of my requirements. And it's about this dude who, you know, starts in a track team because he likes this girl. And he's working, and he doesn't even, you know, get the time of day for the whole time, man. It's just, he's just putting in work. He is earning that. He is earning it. And there's other women involved, obviously. It's not a harem style, but there is more than one, but not enough to make a harem. But he's just trying to put in work, trying to get this girl, and eventually fruits of his labor pay off. So whatever, that's it right there. Number 8 is going to be Zero no Tsukaima. Tsukaima? Zero no Tsukaima, whatever. Number 8. Yeah, you got it. All right. I loved it, man. I just watched this recently as well. This one, it imagines a plot. It makes you think there's a plot, but there's not actually one. It's just them. This dude gets summoned by this witch chick and from his world, and it's about them trying to make her the best wizard or witch she can be. And they go through problems and fight battles, but there's no real main point to the story except for her trying to become a good witch, you know. So and then it's about their bond growing, and you know it's really nice. I enjoyed it. It definitely has 3 of the 3. This one's super obvious with it, super obvious with the 3 of the 3, and you know neither of them are super dense to their knowledge. They just want to they fight the knowledge of the love for each other, but eventually that goes away, and it's definitely a good run. Number 7 is Amagami SS. Now, some of these I have watched recently. A lot of these I have, but as we get closer to the number 1, it's I've watched them a while back. But number 7 being Amagami SS, and the reason I like this one is because there's absolutely no point to the story. It's just about this dude getting girls. Now, not girls harm girls. Every 2, 3 episodes, 2, 3 or 4 episodes is an individual storyline for each chick. Now it's not like it's they try and combine it at the end, but no, it didn't work out. But it's like you know how it's basically like a giant thing of OVAs, you know, because this first 4 episodes is him going with this chick. What would have happened if with this chick? And then it goes back to the beginning, and the next 4 episodes just starts completely over. What would have happened if he took this road and went this chick? And so on and so forth. And he goes to each chick. I absolutely love that because you get to see each chick's story, each chick's personality, and what would have happened if he got with them. It's awesome. I loved it because, I mean, you don't get that often. Usually they just do one, and then they'll give you like an OVA of what would happen here in 1 episode. But no, this one's 4 episodes of going on and on. There's 2 seasons. And it continues. That's what I like. The second season continues with the chicks of each of their storylines. Now, in season 1, though, the closing scene song is sung by the chick in that arc. So this chick's arc, she sings the closer song, and it's a different song, of course, for each girl, but they individually sing their own songs, which is pretty cool. I thought that was unique. Definitely worth a go. So we'll move on to number 6. Everybody should know this one, Kaichou Maid-sama. Yes, absolutely loved it. It's hilarious, great comedy aspect. That's number 6 because there are some I liked better, but this one's definitely up there, one of my favorites. But I do like some better. Romance is on point. I mean, she knows this guy likes him. It's about this. It's pretty much full school. It's all school, but you know this dude likes the girl. The girl knows. Obviously, he says it like bluntly. There are 3. Oh shit, I missed that, didn't I? Yeah, Okami SS has the 3 of the 3, obviously. So yeah, skip that one. So yeah, that has the 3 of the 3. Kaichou Maid-sama definitely has the 3 of the 3 that I require. Mainly focused on them developing as a couple. Of course, I will spoil this one. Obviously, if you haven't seen it, they don't date for a while, so to like the very end. But letting that aside, the comedy aspect of it is definitely worth it, and to see how this guy builds up her love for him, like you know, he's trying really hard, and she knows he likes him or her. She knows he likes her, and you know, but other than that, it's a comical good time with romance in it because of the dude. He's trying so hard, even though he's not. He is at the same time. He plays it off cool. You know, he's one of those cool cats. So yeah, moving on from there. Number 5, Kimi ni todoke. Love it. This one's not very comical. I mean, there's some comical points in it. It's like sprinkled in. This one has 3 of the 3, if I'm not mistaken. The third one's the one I was kind of iffy about. I don't really remember, but actually they might not. I think it might have 2 of the 3 in there. I'm not certain. I don't remember if 3 of the 3 is in there. I know 2 of them is, but Kimi ni todoke is more of a serious style. Well, I don't want to say serious. It's more dramatic in a sense that there are funny parts, but then it's really hard. It's really tugging at the heartstrings with this girl because she's picked on and nobody likes her. But it's the story. There's obviously no story. It's just about her living every day trying to find romance. That's what it is. But it's more dramatic and more heartfelt, I think, than things going on in, you know, Kaichou Maid-sama. That's comedy. This one's more dramatic and more suspenseful when it comes to that. But yeah, so that's number 5. Number 4, Golden Time. Now, a lot of people either do or don't like this one. I liked it specifically because obviously it has 3 of the 3 in it. And I like this one because it's super good at showing the romance aspect of multiple characters. And it's a really good, I think, rendition of romance because it's about the romance. This is fully about the romance with side aspects. It's got some cool little twists and turns in it. But this is completely about the romance. It's got comedy, but it's also got, you know, some subtle parts, but it does have 3 of 3. And I really dig the ending. I wish they would have done a reverse of it, but you know, I won't tell you the ending. But when you see the ending, I'm sure you'll have also wished to see the reverse side of it with an attached video. But whatever, you get what you can. Definitely a win. That's number 4. Number 3, Itazura no Kiss. Now, this one, man, I dig this one. This is one of my top favorite romances of all time, just because of how far it goes. This one definitely is pure romance about their relationship. It's got everything in it. It goes from not dating, marriage, all that after that, even up to kids. I mean, only a few do that, and you know which ones there are, and I'll tell you. But yeah, this one is all about the romance, all about their relationship, all about the roads, the bumps, everything that goes in between. It's got comedy, it's got drama, it's got, you know, whiny, piss and moany parts. Obviously, everyone does. But this one's definitely a win. 3 out of 3. Obviously, super hardcore because it goes all the way to marriage. There's definitely 3 of 3. And there's a 4th in there. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then it's time to get a little older. Alright, that's number 3. Number 2, you got me. Number 2 is Natsu de materu. Man, I dig this anime. I don't know why I dig this one so much. The music was awesome. The romance aspect it was on point. I really didn't dig the ending that much, but they subplotted that ending just enough to give you closure. I'm like, okay, I know what happened, but I'd rather seen it in more depth. It's like saying, you know, they ended it, and then it's like one of those flashers where, you know, you're like, oh, what? That's how it ended? And they're like, bam, no, this is how it ended. Oh, flash, and that's it. That's all you get is that little flash of a scene, and you're like, oh, so that happened. Okay, but I would have rather seen it in more depth, at least an episode or at least 5 minutes of something, but no, it just closed off. I wasn't digging that, but the whole anime itself made up for it. This one kind of has the most story out of all of them, if you say that, because it's about this alien chick who comes to Earth, and she was trying to get back home, and she fell in love with a human. I mean, that's not very much of a story, but it's a little taste of a schmidgen of one, if you want to say that. So it definitely has 3 of the 3 in it. So 3 of the 3 aspects of that one. That's number 2. I really dig this anime. All these are worth the watch. Obviously, if you haven't seen them all, I will put all the names in the description so that you can read them out. And number 1, before I say this, it's not going to be something like Clannad or Toradora, and there is a reason for that, because those are obviously heavy hitters. So those are not in the list. Clannad is obviously my favorite romance of all time, but I didn't add it in the list because these are normal shows that might have been overlooked by you if you haven't seen them, and I'm going to list some others. But obviously, number 1 for me, my favorite romance besides Clannad and Toradora and all that good stuff is Lovely Complex. Oh man, that one definitely has 3 of the 3 in it. Pure freaking comedy. Awesome, outstanding, quirky, fun, man. This is absolutely a fun anime. If you have not seen it, the animation is not that great, but the funny comedy, face-making shit in it is just totally worth it. Absolutely love this one. This one doesn't really have a story either because it kind of just does its own thing. That's how wild and out it is. But, yeah, you know, guy, girl, short guy, tall girl, both want to date people. Girl ends up falling for the guy. Eventually, guy falls for the girl. This and that, then the other. That's it. You know, it's a stupid story type deal they're doing, but just the ride. It's a good ride. I absolutely love it. Number 1, definitely. I've watched this a bunch of times. I cannot get enough. I always dig this anime. Every time I watch it, I laugh, and it never gets old. That's why I like it, man. It never gets old. So, That's top 10. Now, just to name a couple few that didn't make it, but are just as good. Now, I'm not really good with these names because they're super long, and I didn't feel like looking up the English names because the app that I use goes by the Japanese names. So, I might butcher the name, but that's okay because I will write it in the description so that you can look it up and see for yourself and watch it. But all these are recommended. Obviously, Clannad, Toradora. If you haven't seen those, Clannad, Toradora. Let's see right here. You see this? I'm trying to read it. It's ridiculous. Ushinawareta or Wareta, mirai wo motomete. Yeah, that name right there. Look at that. That's retardedly long. Who the hell makes these names up? It's probably something super duper short in English too. Whatever. Ushinawareta mirai wo motomete. Okay. I loved it, but the name sucks. Alright, next is Plastic Memories. If you haven't seen this one, definitely a heart tugger right here. It hits you right in the soul. Whew, that one got me. I didn't cry or nothing, but man, I was like, I had to do the man face when I was watching it, you know what I'm saying? Because it got me right in there, man. It got me. I'm not gonna lie, it got me. But I didn't cry or nothing, but I was like sucking it back in as the tear wanted to come out. I was like, alright. Alright, another good one. Ore Monogatari. That one came out last year or something like that, or whenever it came out. It's rather new, but definitely good. Definitely a fun watch. It's odd because of the size of the dude is completely out of whack. Alright, next one is Okami Shoujo to Kuroji? Something like that. Okami Shoujo to Kuroji. Something like that. That's the one with the dude who's like super into S&M and stuff, but hey, whatever. Yeah, that one's good. I'm gonna write all these names down there. And the last one is Kamisama Kazoku. Kazoku. Yeah, there you go. Kamisama Kazoku. This one though, this last one, Kamisama Kazoku, I found this one on a random search. Nobody recommended it to me, but it was an odd find because it was like rather decent. Because it was pretty neat. It's it's about this god who wants to become human, and is like this angel who's like his guardian angel, whatever you want to call it. Literally falls in love with him, and they fall. You know, it was a unique find. I don't know many people who've seen this. None of my friends have seen it, so it's definitely recommended. I recommend all those, and that was the top 10. So definitely give those a watch. I will put all the names in the description, so check them out. Tell me which ones you liked, because this is purely a list of romance. Nothing else. No main plot. No Sword Art Online plot with a sub bit of romance. No, this is main romance right here. This is where it's at. This is my list. Now, obviously, there's a lot more that I didn't add on here, but it's already a long list. I mean, hell, that's what? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 or so? It's freaking animes. That's right there. That's bam. So, that's it. That's the top 10. Go ahead and give them a watch if you haven't seen them. Let me know if you have seen them, which ones you would put in your list, because obviously this is my list. This is what I liked, and this is what I felt was the strongest for the romance category, other than Clannad, Toradora, and the heavy hitters like those. So, this is my personal favorites. So let me know what you liked, which ones you thought, and let me know if you have not, or have seen any of them. Especially these last ones I mentioned, which I will put in the description. Let me know if you've seen them. If you haven't seen them, watch them, and tell me what you think about them, because these are all strictly romance animes with no plot, obviously. But I don't watch romance for plot. I watch real action or drama or something good with that, but suspenseful. But yeah, let me know when you do watch them. If you do, let me know what you thought about them. So that's it for the top 10. And I'm Anime Sauce, and I'm out.